Welcome back, villagers, to another episode of Hugh Tran the Insurance Man. I am tired. I'm tired of people not speaking up for our country. I'm tired of evil propaganda dividing our people. And I'm tired of government using certain community to gain their agenda. So, because of that, more conversations, open dialogues, and transparency is happening on our channel. So, welcome to our village because in this video, I'm going to share with you what a real legal immigrant is about and why legal immigrants love our country so much and why we need to speak up and be proud, be loud at what our country provided for us. I was born in Vietnam, a country shaped by war, sacrifice, and resilience. My father left after the fall of Saigon in 1975. Saigon is now called Ho Chi Minh City. He was one of the thousands evacuated when the city fell. He started over in America with nothing but hope and the promise that one day he'll bring his family to freedom. 20 years later, in 1995, that promise came true. We arrived legally, not through shortcuts or luck, but through patience, faith, and respect for the law. 28 years, that's how long it took me and my sisters to become a U.S. citizen. So when people are coming to my comment section or crazy DM telling me, how can I support the Orange Man, aka our president, for breaking families apart, for sending illegal immigrants back to their country? That is really a slap on my face because it took my family 28 years to do it the right way. Respect the law, patience, no shortcut. We did it the right way. If we can do it, anybody can. We cannot break laws, bend laws to please a certain group of people because that is not the way of America. I may sound too harsh, but I'm giving you a living proof. If I can do it, anybody else can. And if you're watching this video, your family got to America the right way, the legal way, please share your story because I would love to hear it. We need to speak up, have open conversation, open dialogues, and share honesty, truth. Keep it 100% transparent. This is getting out of hand, so because of that, I wanted to share. So after my dad came to America, he worked hard, learned English, even though it wasn't fluent. It's called broken English, but he still have to learn because he wanted to adapt and live in America. And he became a permanent resident. They gave him a green card holder. If you're a green card holder, you're a permanent resident. And then years later, you pass the exam to become a U.S. citizen. That is the proper way. Not crossing the border, not going over here in some illegal activity and expect to live in America and experience the American dream. That's not how things work. He then filed petition paper through something called the Orderly Departure Program. It's a legal path created for families separated by war. And I thank the United States for this because they work with the government in Vietnam, and that's how Vietnamese children, wives are still in Vietnam, able to reunite with their family in America. It took years of waiting, endless paperwork, interviews, and background checks. We didn't cross borders in the dark. We stood in line, followed every rule, and trusted the process. I'll repeat this again. We stood in line, followed every rule, and trusted the process. When our family's names were finally approved, oh my gosh, we packed everything we owned into a few suitcases and boarded a plane. I still remember looking out the window knowing that the next time I touched the ground, it'll be in America, the land we had dreamed about for years. Oh my gosh, like I don't want to be emotional, but that it bringing back a lot of emotion. Departed Vietnam after we did everything correctly. When I mentioned years of waiting, endless paperwork, interviews, background check, those are not easy. You miss one of it, it's more delays. They had to give you a full medical exam, make sure you don't carry any diseases and all that paperwork. If you're missing one piece of paper when you go to have those meetings, they send you home and make another appointment. So all those time 28 years of doing it the right way. And now we have people just crossing the border and demanding all these rights, all this health care. You think that's fair? No. We need to be loud. We need to speak up because I'm tired of it. I had a dream to come to America to experience the land of opportunity, to experience food, to experience what it's like to live the American dream. And it gave me everything that I dreamt about. And now it's getting pissed on by people that do not care for our country the way I care for our country. America is a nation built on laws. Don't forget that. America is a nation built on laws. Immigration laws are not meant to keep people out. They're meant to make sure that everyone come here respect the same process, the same fairness, the same opportunity. So why are we bending rules to please a certain group just to promote a certain agenda from a certain government party? That is not fair. My family didn't ask for special treatment. We waited for our turn because we believe the rules meant something. Obey the law. When people bend rules or skip the line, they don't just hurt the system. They disrespect every family who sacrificed to do things the right way. And there are about 39 million legal immigrants in the USA that did it the right way. And now they're getting slapped on the face because a certain group with their certain agenda trying to bend rules so that way they can get what they want. But that will destroy America from the inside. I have to speak up because I love our country. I'm willing to die for it because my children will be the next generation to live in America, make America great again, and love and appreciate this country the way it should. Let me remind my villagers, following the law isn't about politics. It's about integrity. It's about understanding that freedom is something you earn, not something you take. So I'm calling out all those fake Americans that piss on our country, burn our flag, and destroy the idea of land of opportunity, home of the brave, freedom of speech. Wake up because all those nonsense you guys are spitting, you haven't lived one day in hardship. For you to piss on the American flag and burn the American flag, shame on you. And you know exactly who you are. And I'm not going to stand for that because I will never forget the day we arrived in the US. I saw things I only seen in pictures. Clean streets, school, and the feeling of safety. You guys are crying about tyrant, fascism, dictator. All that is just propaganda. The feeling you haven't experienced any of that in reality. Because you know why? In reality, if you spitting nonsense like that, you'll be in jail. Throw away the keys. They don't give a shit who you are. That is what you're crying about. So the fact that you're able to cry about it, bullshit about it, and have the ability to still doing it day in and day out, wake up, because you are intentionally destroying our country from the inside. My parents worked long hours. They didn't complain. They were grateful. They reminded us every day that freedom came with responsibility. Following the law wasn't just something we did to get here. It was something we lived by. Because of that, I was able to get an education, start a career, and give back to this country. That's what legal immigration is about. No handouts, but hard work and respect for the nation that welcome us. No handout, but the hard work and respect for the nation that welcome us. With that, I want to remind my 39 million legal immigrants, if you're watching this video, share it, comment, and make sure we're loud and proud because if America fall, the rest of the world is like a domino effect. They will fall along with it. There is a reason why they want to destroy America from the inside because America is like no other nation. We became too strong, we became too independent, and because of those things happening, we got too comfortable. We are breeding the next generation of idiots, ungrateful idiots, idiots that take things for granted. And that is a recipe waiting to implode from the inside. It's a disaster. So speak up, be loud, because I will not shut up. I will not stand by. I share this story because I believe in America and I believe in the law. Whether you're from Vietnam, Mexico, Africa, Cuba, or anywhere else, the process matters. When we follow the rules, we protect the meaning of citizenship. My family's journey wasn't easy, but it was right. We waited, we worked, and we earn our place here. 28 years. If we can do it, my neighbor can do it, my cousin can do it, you can do it too. That's the American dream, and that's something worth defending. That's the American dream, and that's something worth defending. And that, my villagers, is the story how I became a legal U.S. citizen. 28 years, the process. And here I see people from another country came here illegally, pissing on our flag, burning our flag, and demanding all this free shit, and you expect me to be quiet? This is a slap on 39 million legal immigrant. We need to speak up. We need to be loud. We need to be proud, because if we fall, the rest of the world will come into pieces. And with that, I want to really ask my villagers, if you're watching this video to the very end, have you met a legal immigrant and have you talked to them? You see the way they treasure this country. You see the way they talk about their family. And wouldn't it feel better, or wouldn't it put our country in a better position if more stories like these are being shared? Because I'm tired of the woke ideology, the left movement, where they're trying to paint America as if America is an evil country, when America provide opportunity, the American dream, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom to bear arms. All that stuff is being taken for granted, and I can't shut up any longer. If you feel what I'm saying, hit that subscribe button. Welcome to our village. Let me know in the comment section what you think. With that, please take care of your family, but most importantly, take care of your health. I'll see you in the next video, my villagers.